Is it time? Is it time for Gears of War to return? Is it time? Maybe it is. Hello, Gears and Gaming fans. Welcome to Gears Intel. I am your host, KDB, and this is not a podcast episode, but the Xbox Game Showcase is fast approaching, and I'm here to just check in with you all about a few things before Sunday. I'm not joined by my co-hosts today. This is going to be, as I say, just kind of like a short video ramble thing. It's not a podcast episode. Think of it as like a last minute primer along with some updates about the channel as we prepare for what could potentially be a turning point for Gears of War this week. We also asked you, is it time? I did a poll on Twitter. I just put, is it time? ? Hashtag Gears of War. You all knew what I was talking about. You all knew what that question meant, right? The answer choice is yes or no. 93.2% of you said, yes, it is time. It's time for Gears to come back. Thank you for those of you who voted in the poll. Obviously, it's a small slice of the entire Gears fandom, but, you know, we like to think that those of you who follow us are dedicated, some of the most dedicated Gears fans out there. So appreciate you taking the time to click yes and vote and tell everybody out there it is time for Gears of War to come back. We obviously did an episode at the start of the year where we thought, is this the year where it's going to re-emerge? And we all kind of agreed, yes, we felt that this would be the year. And more recently, we've all heard the rumours and it feels like something is bubbling under the surface. But don't forget, we've been here before. Rumours and leaks have plagued the Gears franchise for the last few years. So in a way, it's kind of it's difficult to get too excited about the upcoming showcase. And to be honest, I'm doing my best to absolutely keep my expectations in check. Now, if you're looking for like full breakdowns of rumours and leaks, you will have to go somewhere else, because that's not really what we do here on the channel. Instead, we're always on hand to, I was going to say talk nonsense, but to celebrate and chat and deep dive, just kind of give you our unique and sometimes nonsense analysis and silly hot takes on official news, on the games, and all things extended Gears IP. So why am I here talking to you today? Well, firstly, a quick update. So we had a bit of a bump in our production schedule for content this past month. I won't bore you with all the details, but I'm having a few things go on in my personal life out here in the real world. And, you know, family comes first. So we did have to pump the brakes a little bit on stuff we were doing. So it means our planned follow-up to the Gears Tactics retrospective has yet to be recorded. And that episode, we were due to feature all of your community feedback and round off our coverage on the game, talk about some things we didn't touch on in the main episode. And we were also going to do our Xbox Showcase predictions. But yeah, life happened and that's just not feasible. And it's really frustrating to me because we're leading into what might be a huge week for Gears and we wanted to keep that train moving. So I can only apologise to those of you who are waiting for that episode. Please sit tight. We will get to the community thoughts on tactics as soon as possible once all the showcase dust has settled. But yeah, so as I say, it could be a big week for Gears. It already feels like the past week or two, maybe slightly more, the Gears community is sort of coming to life. I'm seeing people that are not necessarily Gears creators talk about Gears of War. Now, obviously, they're going to do that because they want to jump on the hype wagon, and more power to them. But I've seen, things coming alive, and just Gears creators I know, I've seen them ramping up. Big shout out to Abs, big shout out to Raw. Both of those guys have been, kind of continued supporters of the work we're doing at Gears Intel. And yeah, it's just cool to see like these cornerstones of the Gears community really, just keeping the fire going, keeping the hype going. Because as many of you will know, like despite me being a Gears fan since day dot, since 2006, since launch, I didn't venture into the world of Gears of War content creation until 2020. I think that's when I started the Gears Intel Twitter account, and we didn't officially start the podcast and YouTube channel until 2023. So I'm new to the community, to the kind of Gears community. I've never really got myself involved with it, but in recent years, it's just been cool to connect with people and see those people continue to kind of carry the torch for Gears and put stuff out and be honest about the series and be authentic. And it's people like that, and hopefully people like myself, that are just, able to keep the good name of Gears alive. So yeah, it's cool to see everything kind of bubbling up and coming alive for Gears. It feels like something is coming. So yeah, regarding the showcase, I am definitely intrigued. It continues to be like a bit of a rocky time for the games industry, and sometimes it's difficult to even get excited about any of it. But if you put the fluid nature of the business aside, I still love games, and I'm still definitely hoping that we come out of the weekend with some news on our beloved Gears of War. Do I actually think we'll get some news? It's difficult to say we are, definitely getting something, because I was thinking about this week, and if you just take a step back and look at Xbox right now, they have so much going on. So many games are coming out, and you kind of wonder how they're going to fit it all in. So, just off the top of my head, what's cooking: Perfect Dark, Indiana Jones, Doom, South of Midnight, Clockwork Revolution, Stalker. That's like not even considering updates to games that are already out, like Halo, Starfield, ESO, Minecraft, Fallout. Plus, like all the indie games, previously announced or otherwise. And of course, there is a huge focus on Call of Duty and, whatever's going on with Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass, plus possible hardware announcements. Like, I'm not even listing it all off here. My point is that there's so much going on. So do they even have time to talk about Gears at the showcase? Would it get lost in the shuffle? Is it even worth saying anything unless you can dedicate more than a decent few minutes to it? Possibly. So let's say we do get an announcement at the showcase. The Coalition are apparently very busy supporting other studios, so I'm not inclined to believe that the next mainline Gears is near completion. I think if I was to venture a guess, we're likely a year or two away from the release of the next mainline Gears game. Just when you consider the nature of game development these days, and the nature of a Gears game, which is something that always pushes the boundaries of tech, and has multiple kind of, is multifaceted. You have a campaign, you have multiplayer, you have a horde and potentially other modes. This isn't something that's made in a few months. So yeah, and the Coalition have been busy doing lots of stuff. Generally, I'm kind of against showing just a title card and confirming that a game exists, because often I think things just get announced too early, and you maybe kind of set yourself up for failure and unnecessary criticism and people getting frustrated and bored and asking, when is it coming? So you need to be careful about when you announce and reveal stuff. However, in this case, I think in the case of what's next for Gears of War, even if they don't have anything like decent in development stuff to show for whatever's next for Gears, because it's been so long and they've been so quiet, I would actually be satisfied with just an official acknowledgement that the next game is, quote unquote, in development, because we haven't even had that. All we're going off of is speculation and, insider info and rumors. And yeah, so in this case, I'm ready for it. Just give me that title card. For Gears 6 or Gears, Gears Emergence or whatever it's going to be called. I did a tweet recently where I said I don't think it's going to be called Gears 6 because having a 6 is like an odd thing to do for a game. However, Black Ops are having 6, so maybe Xbox are more, open to that kind of thing. So yeah, is it Gears 6? Is a Marcus Fenix collection finally coming? We said before early in the year that potentially, and I think this is a widely agreed thing, that maybe you get a Gears of War collection now or, this year, and then that tides you over until the release of Gears 6, whether that's a year or 2 years away. kind of like how we had Ultimate Edition and in the lead up to Gears 4. So yeah, will there be a Fenix collection? Will there be Gears 6? I don't know. I do think it's time. I think because it's been so long, just an acknowledgement of what's next, I think is important. I think, you know, Gears of War occupies this really weird space now where we all know that it's niche. It's different to all the other shooters out there. But weirdly, with like the feedback on a lot of the new live service shooters and other hero shooters and stuff that come out, I wonder if people are ready to kind of, you know, re-embrace the different thing that Gears offers and a different style. And I think people might welcome it because, as I said, I've seen buzz being generated from people who I would call outside of the Gears of War community. And, you know, it's not a closed community. Everyone's welcome. But it's just, you know, people who aren't necessarily focused on Gears are talking about it. Because I think there is a hunger. I think, you know, look at the Concord reveal the other day from PlayStation. That went down like a, you know, a fucking ton of bricks. And I'm not saying that it's a bad game, but I think it's just more of the same, right? It's more too similar to other stuff that's out there. And I think people maybe want something different or want something that they haven't had for a long time, which is what Gears could be. So yeah, so are we going to get news? It's hard to say. I hope so. I just hope so. Like I say, expectations in check. There's rumors and leaks, but yeah, I take all of that with a pinch of salt. I'm kind of sick of leaks these days. We don't cover them really on the channel. We acknowledge they're out there, but we don't need to report on them. You know, we're not interested in putting out videos and podcasts that just kind of hang on to a single comment that somebody has made because something might be happening. Yeah, I don't think it's... One, I just don't have time to do that. I'd be making videos like I'd have to make videos all the time to cover all of the rumors. I don't have time to do that. I wish I did. I don't. But two, I do think it's just kind of, it's slightly insulting to the intelligence of you, the listener, the viewer. I think people are kind of sick of clickbait and making content out of nothing. We just try to be honest, authentic, give our personal opinions, real opinions, and like I say, talk nonsense from time to time. So, yeah. So on that note, yes, how will we be covering things going forward? If there is a Gears of War announcement at the showcase, obviously we're going to be all over it. Going to get David and Alex together to talk about it, or, you know, maybe either individually or together. We will probably do some kind of, you know, immediate reaction and then a proper discussion about it later. But I've been playing a lot of Gears these past 2 weeks. I've played through Gears 4 again. I've played through some of Ultimate Edition and just a little bit of Gears 5. And I've just been kind of reacquainting myself with bits of Gears that I haven't touched for a little while. And between any announcement we get and other stuff we do, there's going to be lots for us to bring to you. And we're really excited about that. So I've also been speaking to some people about coming on the show. So stand by for that. There will be some guest episodes very soon. And that's about it, really. I just wanted to say, again, sorry we haven't done the part 2 of the Tactics retrospective. Life shit has happened. But we're still here. And something's bubbling. I'm excited, but expectations not being allowed to bubble over, right? Does that seem fair? Cool. Well done if you've made it through to the end of this video, or this ramble. I don't even know what it was. Like I say, I just haven't had time to get a proper episode together, and it's so frustrating because we wanted to really cover the hype leading into the showcase, but for now, we're just going to let it happen. What will be, will be. And if there's no announcement, it doesn't matter because we know there's stuff coming. Even if the game isn't announced yet, we got the movie, we got the Netflix series, they're announced, they're official. We got games to talk about, we got books to talk about, and yeah, some of those guest appearances on the podcast as well. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time. As always, thank you for listening. Please do subscribe to the channel. Gears is about to pop off. We're going to be here covering it. And even if it doesn't pop off, like I say, there's a million other things we've got to cover yet. Please do go and check out the Tactics retrospective episode if you haven't yet. We put a lot of heart and soul into that, and I think it's probably the best episode we've ever done. Check out the video version. We put some extra effort into the editing as well and chucked some footage and stuff in there. It's like a real YouTube video. I'm like a real YouTuber, guys, unbelievable. And that's it. Yeah, more podcast episodes soon. Subscribe, give us a rating, review, follow us on Twitter @gears_intel. Till next time, remember the fallen.